Assalamualaikum, Dr. Zamri and everyone. We are Group 10 and we are called the Data Detectives. For our infographic, our topic is impact of gasoline prices on the currencies in the year 2022. The currencies are United States dollar, USD, Singapore dollar, SGD, and Malaysia ringgit, MYR. I will pass the floor to DIVESH first to talk about the visual appeal of the poster.
Thank you, Fatin. For the visually appealing criteria, this infographic is appealing because it has a clear design, significant data, concise writing, and also accessible information. Visual elements like colors, graphics, and also typography also contribute to the overall impression of the poster, which made it appealing. The layout shows key points and concept clearly, which attracts people to take a closer look at this infographic. I'll pass back to Fatin.
Yes, I also agree with Divesh. My name is Fatin AYUNIE and I will be presenting after Divesh. To make the audience clearly understand on this topic, my group mates have designed beautiful and colorful sections to give a clear understanding on our topic. To add on, they included visual aids. For me, this infographic is really easy to understand just by looking at it because everything is divided into categories. As for creativity, the most creative part of our infographic design is the icons or the pictures that have been used that greatly relate with the topic. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the first element of this poster, which is the mean of average exchange rate that is presented in a bar chart form. For mean, the highest mean of average exchange rate is USD, which presents 4.18 on the first quarter of the year, 4.34 on the second quarter, 4.47 on the third quarter, 4.58 on the last quarter, while MYR is the lowest at 0.24 at the first quarter, 0.23 at the second quarter, 0.22 at the third quarter, and 0.218 on the fourth quarter. Now let's move on to the median of average exchange rates. USD is the highest at 4.19 at the first quarter, 4.38 at the second quarter, 4.476 at the third quarter, and lastly 4.65 at the fourth quarter. The ongoing growth is because the oil prices are global and petrol is mainly priced in US dollars. So as for the weak currency, it amplifies the impact of rising global oil costs on consumer petrol prices. That is all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Back to Divesh.
Thank you, Fatin. Now let's talk about standard deviation. First of all, standard deviation is a measure of the amount of variation of a random variable expected about its mean. A low standard deviation indicates that the values tend to be close to the mean of the set, while a higher standard deviation indicates the values are spread out over a wider range. So here when we look at the infographic, we can see the highest standard deviation is for the USD, valued at 0.11614 in the fourth quarter from October to December. Meanwhile, the lowest standard variation is for MYR with the value 0.000277 in the first quarter, which is from January to March. We have to agree that for MYR, the standard deviation keeps on increasing, which is a good sign for the exchange rate. Now I'll pass it to Sarah.
Okay, thank you, Divesh. My name is AISHAH and I'm going to present about the economic impact on the currency stability. The relationship between currency exchange rates and economic growth is closely related to various factors. Their collective impact should be considered when assessing the overall impact on the country's economic growth prospects. Malaysian ringgit once recorded the biggest drop among Asian countries when it fell 5.8% due to capital outflows. Therefore, there are various important factors that affect exchange rates. The first one is when a country's economy is doing well and growing strong, more people want to invest in that country. This high demand for the country's money makes its currency more valuable compared to others. So, a strong market generally leads to a higher exchange rate for the country's currency. Next is trade balance, which is the difference between a country's export and imports. It plays a crucial role in influencing rates. If a country exports more than it imports, it creates a trade surplus. It means there is a higher demand for its goods and services. The third one is and inflation differentials, or the variations in inflation rates between countries, can significantly impact exchange rates. When one country experiences lower inflation compared to another, the purchasing power of its currency tends to stable. Next, interest rates play an important role in influencing exchange rates too, because when a country's interest rates go up, people from other places want to put their money in that country's bank because they get more rewards. This high demand for the country's money makes its value go up compared to others. Lastly, investor sentiment is how investors feel about a particular currency or country can strongly influence exchange rates. If investors are optimistic about a country's economic prospects, political stability, and overall investment climate, they are more likely to buy that country's currency. So, how people feel about a country can have a big impact on the value of its money compared to others. That is all for the economical impact on the currency stability. Next, I'll pass the presentation to IFFAH.
Thank you, Sarah. My name is IFFAH HAZEEQAH, and I will be presenting about the political impact on the currency stability of the selected countries. Political crises in America and Singapore, whether short-term or long-term, can adversely affect their economies, stock markets, and reputation. These political dynamics play crucial roles in shaping its economic landscape, involving intricate interplays of politics, oil prices, and currency stability. The stability of a country's currency is particularly very sensitive to political events and decisions. Policy errors, uncertainty, or instability can erode investor confidence, leading to currency depreciation. This cautious investor sentiment, often adopting a wait-and-see approach, prompts some investors to divert their funds to more stable countries. Next, our country, Malaysia, has experienced currency depreciation historically due to political power shifts, changes in government policies, or allegations of corruptions. Efforts by the Kerajaan Perpaduan, also called as Kerajaan Madani, to stabilize the political situation have yielded positive results. As you can see from the poster, efficient, disciplined, transparent, and corruption-free financial management, coupled with prudent government spending and debt control, has enhanced investor confidence, attracting capital inflows. To summarize my part, political factors significantly impact a country's currency strength. Political stability, consistent policies, and favorable foreign relations collectively create an economic environment that influences Malaysia's monetary stability. That's all from me. I'm going to pass the floor to the next presenter, SHAZALI.
All right, thank you, Eva. So for government policies impact, as you can see in the corner of the poster, Malaysian government remains committed to implement structural policies that increase economic growth and the country's competitiveness. The Malaysian government maintained the retail of petrol at ceiling of 2 ringgit and 5 cents per litre. According to the Ministry of Finance, they stated that this action aims to ensure that this matter will not put a weight on the people's shoulders by the increase in the global oil prices, and to ensure that the inflation rate in the short and long term will not be getting out of hand. And the setting of retail prices on RON 95 and diesel is done weekly, influenced by the changes in the value of petroleum products in the prior week, as well as world crude oil market prices and foreign currency exchange rates. As for the Singapore, the exchange rate-based monetary policy framework has found positive impact on the country's currency, influencing various aspects such as import prices, inflation, export competitiveness, and also sustainable growth. As for the USA, their currency is shaped by the Federal Reserve on monetary policy, fiscal policies, trade policies, inflation targeting, political stability, and also responses to global economic conditions. And this impacted the stability of US dollar in international markets. So that is all for government policy impact. I return the presentation to Sarah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shazali. So in conclusion, we have covered all of the subtopics of the impact of gasoline prices on the currencies in year 2022 with our infographic poster. Having stable currency is super important to portray how good a country's money and economy work. When money is stable, everyone feels surer about spending and saving. It also makes other countries want to invest in and trade with the country and have it grow. So that is all from our group. Thank you.